It is a flight of migrants that left from San Antonio and ended up at Martha's Vineyard in Massachusetts, paid for apparently by the state of Florida. So why is the Bexar County Sheriff involved? Well, because there might have been some deception involved. Sheriff Javier Salazar joins us now, Bexar County Sheriff. Sheriff, I appreciate the time. There are some who say, why are you investigating this? And I also want to point out that this is not a Sheriff versus DeSantis showdown.
No, yeah, this has been kind of billed as a sheriff versus governor battle royale, and it's, that's not what it is. I think it's a stretch to say we're investigating the governor. What we're investigating as a result of these flights is what happened in Bexar County and was it illegal? By people in Bexar County with boots on the ground here. That's all we're looking at.
Is there something specific when it comes to state statute, law in particular, that you were looking at to see, all right, was there a violation of X, Y, and Z that's on the books in Texas?
Sure. We're looking at different statutes to determine. First off, we need to talk directly to these victims. Right now, their communication has been through their attorneys. We know what the attorneys are telling us, but still we have to hear it directly from the people, or else, we can't really proceed beyond that. So right now we're working through the logistics of talking to those people. The problem is they're on the East Coast right now, and we're in Texas. And so we're working through the logistics. Do we talk to them through Zoom? Do we accept written affidavits? Do we physically send somebody over there? At this point, we're just trying to work through all of that to get a more complete picture of what are the claims being made and is it illegal in the state of Texas, namely Bexar County.
In your experience and in your talks with some of these victims or through their attorneys, was deception involved, in your opinion, in getting these migrants on these flights?
Well, that's the claim. I think that's the absolute claim, is that there was deception involved. Now, whether that crosses the line over into the illegal, well, that's why we have investigations, right? Otherwise, we think these things would move a lot quicker. But, distasteful, absolutely. Deceitful, absolutely. I think so. I think there's some integrity issues if that's the case. But does it cross the line over into illegal? We've got to talk to these folks first to make that determination. There's
so much out there, Sheriff. Some rumors out there that they were promised X, Y, and Z. They thought they were going to Boston. Some of them may have thought they were going to Washington, D.C. And a mystery woman named Perla. Is that something that is actually true? Are you looking for a woman named Perla? Have you found a woman named Perla? I mean, there's just so much that's out there that I want to try to cut through that and separate the fact from the fiction.
Well, look, we can't name any names in this because the fact is we don't know, that a crime's been committed yet. So we can't name any suspects. We have some people tentatively identified that are persons of interest. We've got some people that all we have of them is a picture and no name. And so at some point, we may be making a public appeal for those names. But again, we need to talk to these folks first and determine, was there a crime even committed in Bexar County? I can't do anything about what was done in Florida. I can't do anything about what was done in New England. I can't do anything really on transit. Just was there a crime committed by people with feet on the ground here in Bexar County?
You know that media across the country has been talking about this. I mean, Stephen Colbert was talking about you last night. So, but talk about what the reception or, the feedback you have been getting, your office or either you personally, in response to announcing this criminal investigation.
I mean, we've gotten, everything from, praise to condemnation, but we can't allow too much of the public sentiment, the noise to affect the way we do our job. We got a job to do. If somebody comes to us with a criminal allegation that happened, that was alleged to have happened in our county, we've got to investigate it. Every case is going to make 50% of the people really, really happy, and it's going to infuriate the other 50%. And it never really matters what you decide or what the outcome is. Somebody's always going to be unhappy with it. And we just have a job to do as first responders. That's what we do.
Have threats been made against you and your deputies?
I mean, yes. I don't think it's anything actionable, anything that's got me too terribly worried about it. It's concerning that people feel like something that they saw in the news makes them want to anonymously email a elected official halfway across the country, probably threaten all kinds of unspeakable acts. But again, if you're that afraid of threats, then maybe you shouldn't be in law enforcement. So, some of them, you got to laugh them off. Some of them, you got to take them a little more seriously than others. But, let's just be respectful of each other.
Did you expect this kind of attention? New York Times, Washington Post, CNN, Stephen Colbert's monologue. I mean, did you expect that when you took this on that you were going to get this kind of national attention?
I mean, look, every case that we work has the potential to garner major attention. So you just got to make sure that you work it by the numbers and not get too distracted by all the noise. That's why in this case here, we've made it very clear what's there and what might not be there, and what we're trying to accomplish by it. So yeah, absolutely. We know that there's always going to be a lot of eyes watching. Everything that we do now gathers, the potential for national attention. Like I tell all of our cadets, a police incident such as an officer-involved shooting, years ago would not have been made the news even anywhere outside our local circle. Now an officer-involved incident becomes national news in a matter of minutes because of social media. So yeah, we're absolutely used to being under the world's microscope, no matter what we do.
How about a timeline on this investigation? You talk about some of the challenges with these folks not being here in Bexar County. Do you have in your mind sort of a roadmap for where this is going right now?
I don't. I mean, look, we've got to get the most expedient and most efficient way to talk to these people. Look, the affidavits that I've seen were translated to English. I know that a lot of these people don't speak English. So I got to think that something's got to be lost in translation. That's why I want my Spanish-speaking investigators to talk to these people firsthand, to say what exactly were you lied about and at what point. Because if they tell me they were lied to, but it happened in Florida, I can't help them with that. As much as I'd love to and as distasteful as I think it might be, I can't help them with that. So we have to really get down to the brass tacks and find out what exactly happened and where, and was it a criminal offense?
We've got about 15 seconds left. Are you concerned because there's already a lawsuit that's been filed that some of these victims are not going to talk to you because of that lawsuit?
Oh, absolutely. That's always a possibility. But we've just got to take the facts that are presented to us. If somebody says I was wrong, but I don't want to talk to you about it, then we can't help them at that point. And that's just the way it is.
Sheriff Javier Salazar, appreciate your time.
Thank you, guys. Be safe.
You as well.